What's up, YouTube? This is Ryan Hildreth here with Tanner Fox, and today we're just going to kind of rant, kind of off the cuff, and I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to hear Tanner's view on college, because I know I did a video on college and what I thought. I want to hear Tanner's view, and then we'll talk a little bit about opportunity cost, because I know a lot of you are into business and entrepreneurship, and you have to look at life with opportunity cost in your mind. So
Exactly.
let's kind of start off with your view of college and maybe talk a little bit about opportunity cost.
Yeah, so my view on college is obviously some professions you need it, some you don't. If you want to get into business or even do anything on your own, there's no need.
Yeah.
Now, you still have to go learn online and teach yourself everything. That's what we did, but you don't need to go to college.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you want to do, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or anything that obviously needs a degree like that, then yes, I'd say go.
Of course.
If you really don't know, and let's say your parents are going to pay for you, just go until you know, or until you start something and are making consistent money.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, I went for a year still, even when I was doing 20K a month.
Yeah.
So halfway I was forced to, but realistically I could have. I just didn't want to waste money on rent moving out.
Yeah.
So if your goal is to make money, don't go to college. If you have to pay for it, don't go. Now, if it's contingent, like, oh, that's how you live at home, otherwise you got to pay rent and you don't have making money, then just go and skip classes like I did until and try and grind it out. But yeah, it's not necessary if you want to do if you want to work your way up in a business, be secure, work for someone else, then yeah, go. You need a degree, otherwise you're going to get stuck somewhere.
Exactly.
But other than that, no.
Yeah, I mean, and I said take the first semester off, you know, if you're graduating high school, take that first semester to just pick up some career books, you know, and read a little bit before you start college, so you have a better idea of where you want to go with your college career, with your degree. But if you look at things like opportunity cost wise, for me, I went to college for 6 years, and I didn't get a degree, and I switched multiple degrees. You know, first I studied molecular bio, then went to business, finance. But if you look at things opportunity cost wise, in those 6 years, I wasn't working. I was a bartender and I was working at an investment bank, but I wasn't making much. So really I was kind of breaking even because I had to pay for school. And if you're breaking even for 6 years, you could have easily not go to college for 3 years, try to start up a business. Even if you're making 5 to 10K a year, you're still 30,000 ahead 3 years down the line, and not in debt. You know what I mean? Whereas in college, you're breaking even or in debt. So that's kind of the opportunity cost I look at. So look at it in a business perspective. Like, do you know exactly what you want to do with your career? If not, then I suggest taking a semester off.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah.
I do the same thing. For me, the opportunity cost wasn't too high. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to lose money. It's not having time to do more things. So for me, I could have gone to school and still had time to do stuff, but have zero social life or do anything I enjoy, like video games and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd rather drop out, have time to work more, and do the things I want, so I have balance.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that's what I do now.
Yeah.
So I have time to do everything now.
Yeah, and exactly. And this guy started off he already knew he wanted to do something entrepreneurial, whereas I started off not knowing what I wanted to do, so I partied a lot in college, and I kind of just went, the whole fraternity route, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I think it's good to have a sense of what you may want to do, and then go from there. Because college is expensive, and we know how it is. Like, I was living paycheck to paycheck up north, and it was horrible. So you have to look at opportunity costs in life, in business. What would you say the opportunity cost of being an entrepreneur, kind of give your perspective on that, versus working corporate for a couple years, saving up, maybe 50 grand after a few years of working corporate, then starting a business?
Yeah, so when you do that, let's say you're working corporate, you know how much you're going to make. You're never going to really get more unless you have small promotions, which are still like, oh, I'm making 10,000 more a year now, which is nothing. Yeah. And when you're an entrepreneur, the only negatives or opportunity costs I really see is your income can fluctuate, which is good and bad. I mean, if I have 100K a month and then a 0 month, that's still more averaging out than more than that. But I mean, it's it's not even more time. I think it's less time than a 9 to 5. It's really not that much work depending what you want to do if you work smart.
Yeah.
And it's just the inconsistency, if you can handle that, and just a little more risk, which I like to take bigger risks financially.
Yeah.
But not in other things. And then most people are the opposite. Because I'm young, I can.
Yeah.
That's the time to do it.
Yeah, and see, this guy, he's 21, and he's taken such big risks at his age. When I was his age, I was kind of scared. Like, I didn't want to do that, and that's definitely, being around Tanner has helped me kind of, you know, push my boundaries and taking more risk, because I've always been very conservative. So,
well, I started with like $2,000 in my bank account, and $2,000 is, it seems like a lot, but obviously it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I could go work for 2 weeks and make that anything. So do I risk the $2,000 when I'm 20 and I can live at home, I can do whatever, I'm fine, even if you can't? And do I risk that to make what I'm making now? Because if I didn't start that, I wouldn't have done any of this.
Yeah.
So is risking $2,000 worth changing your life forever, making millions a year now?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when, oh, worst case, oh, I lost $2,000. Okay, now I have to go work 6 more months, or I'll just work this summer and make it back.
Right.
If I want to, I just live at home. I just do whatever. Yeah. It's not a big risk. Now, if you're older and you have to support people, yeah, it's more of one, but.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I learned that when I started, you know, buying courses online to learn about different things that they didn't teach in school, like trading in the stock market and, you know, trading options and social media marketing and stuff like that. When I started spending money on those courses, I was like, oh my God, I'm like spending my money. And then, but I actually learned something enjoyable. I was like, wow, like I could really use this, you know?
Yeah.
And,
you see all the opportunities once you start.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought we'd just kind of rant about that a little bit, but I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it helped you out a little bit. Remember, there's an opportunity cost with going to college, especially if you don't know what you want to do. But if you do want to get into entrepreneurship, think about that weight of, what am I going to be in debt for college, or should I just, you know, take the risk and maybe make 5 to 10 grand my first year or second year of entrepreneurship, and, you know, live at home with your parents, or you know, rent a cheap apartment.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, take that into consideration, and we'll see you in the next one.